Alright, hey friendos. As you might have seen a couple days ago when I was really sick, right here used to be a giant mattress and a bunch of other garbage that this room was being used as storage basically. Every room in our house has been repurposed 100 times. We're standing, I said this a couple days ago, we're standing right now in what's considered our formal dining room. For the longest time, this was our original office. You can see some remnants of that over here. It says like Rampant up at the top, and then it became a game room, which right here, where I'm standing, is all of our games. Stephanie and I are very competitive, so we've got a couple Switches, a couple Xboxes. Thing is, though, we've been way too busy and sick to be playing, so Steph and I also exercise in this room, so our rooms get used pretty heavily, but while I was sick, she took out this giant mattress and all this furniture out, moved in this desk here to give me a place to set up for all of our charging and our camera gear and whatnot. Right now, this is the backpack that I travel with. This is our travel bag, and I'm gutting it right now. That's why it looks like it's been, rifled through. The idea is to set up and charge everything and then figure out what actually do we need. And that's why this whiteboard exists. We have everything up here talking about where we're going, what gear we need during that particular stint of the trip, what we're going to use, etc., etc. That will help me calculate the number of batteries that I need, the kinds of batteries I need. Like, for example, these are the batteries for our gimbal. Was about to start charging them, and then I just found out that we have a new gimbal coming, so there's really no reason to charge this. So it's stuff like that. We're just going through everything. Also, fun stuff is I have a bunch of custom glass from when Stephanie and I used to run our company called Rampant. We still run it, but from when I was there every single day of my life, I used to mix ancient lenses with brand new cameras. So I would put this basically old Soviet lens on my Red camera, and you get this really nice flary, just really organic looks and stuff. So if I can bring these and I can adapt them to our GH5 systems, that might make for some pretty B-roll somewhere. I don't know if you can see this though. Right now our schedule is so crazy. We are there. We are doing something every single day that we're going to be on our trip. So everything from a skyrise in Atlanta to a cabin in Gatlinburg to Anakeesa to Dollywood to a corn maze. I mean, we are busy. So I'm gonna have to cut this short, start charging and building, and see what I'm missing. But yeah, I'm so grateful that Steph did this. I can't believe she moved all this while I was sleeping, while I was sick. I did that here a thing. So crazy. But oh yeah, I'm also testing out my gloves. Here, these are gloves for when we go up north. I normally don't wear gloves in 90-degree weather, but one of my side effects with my cancer is myopathy, which means all of your extremities are frozen. My hands and my feet feel like they're in ice almost 24 hours a day. So this helps. And I'm also testing to see if I can operate gear and manhandle gear with gloves on. So yeah, that's about it. Yeah, so I'm super excited to rebuild this kit for our next trip and see what's going to land. All right. Appears Christmas has come early. So this is a laptop that we've been waiting on for months now. It's a custom build. It's the idea was to have something just as powerful as our desktops, or more powerful than a desktop, but be able to travel because we're traveling all the time. And not only do we have client work, but we've got the daily vlogs and everything else in our travel vlogs, and I need something a lot more powerful than what I'm using. And our old laptop blew up on our last trip, so we've been working with Exotic PC and to build my dream laptop basically, and it wasn't supposed to get here until tomorrow. It's a good thing we weren't out of the house, because we were like, well, I guess tomorrow, Sean, you're staying in the house all day. I'm like, I guess so. And then it shows up right now. So that's pretty wild. I'm just so eager to open this thing. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Didn't label the box.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, at least we're here. La, 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 la. I am so excited about this. We've been waiting for a new machine for so long. You know?
Yeah.
Gosh. many boxes. Goodness gracious. It's like, did we buy a TV or what? Oh man, this has got to be the power supply. What the? It looks like a short-range missile. Good gracious. Yep, plugs. And what appears to be, does it require, is it so powerful it requires 2 batteries? What? Okay. Pretty.
Oh.
Very pretty machine.
I like it.
Looks like they put a little sleeve around it for shipping. Guess I can't keep this forever. Like that the logo, that's pretty. It's nicely done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And looks like we got a bunch of really great connections on the back, like I asked for. And even more on the side.
Yep.
We're doing good. So I guess the thing is now is to fire this bad boy up and see what we have to install. Wow, 2 batteries.
Yikes.
Let's see how this goes.
Oh,
what?
it's rainbow.
What?
That's so fun. Hi friends, it has been a very long day. There's Podge back there, scratching on the sofa. It's been a long day. So it started out really, really good with Sean getting his laptop, which was fantastic. We've been waiting for so long for it. And then it just sort of went downhill from there. So they messed up the whole laptop install. He knows the specifics, but they have a bunch of hard drives that they sort of messed up, and he's been trying to fix it all night. I've been trying to lower stress levels and get his stress down because it's very important for his numbers and things like that. So it's just been I've been working and then trying to console him, and then we did some hot tub time. It was crazy. It was a crazy day. I feel bad. Sean gets into these excuse me, he gets into these where he feels like he's not doing anything right, and he feels so stupid because of chemo brain, and which is a real thing, by the way. It's just I just want to give him the biggest hug, and I do give him the biggest hugs and say it's okay, you're doing great, but it's a human thing that he gets inside his head and feels really bad, and it makes me so sad, and I'm like, gosh, you're doing so good, so good. But we're winding up. I'm still working on animations. Sean is still fighting with his computer, and just thought I would say that real fast, jump on here, because it started out so good. We were so happy. Oh man. And then it just kind of took a turn. But it's been a good day. So I'll let him talk about his computer mishaps. But yeah, so lowering the stress is a big thing. It's a very big thing. So hopefully I'll be able to keep lowering his stress, and this computer issue will be righted so he can move on. All right, let's get back to work.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
It has been a day. Oh, good news from today is that Sean got a new computer. His laptop's finally here. Bad news is it was a nightmare.
Some of the most stressful, nightmarish hellscape Look, I get it. When I order a custom build a machine, I am going to push it to its limits. I understand that. I do not mess with stuff that you can buy at Best Buy. You will never find a machine in my possession that you can find off the shelf. They just don't exist. Every machine that we use is top of the line or custom built. We need a ton of RAM, massive GPUs. Just the things that we do is just very computationally expensive. It's very, very difficult. So when I custom built this machine, you could tell by the communication that we had that the company that built it was having problems. They admitted to not having all the parts and pieces they needed, and then when they did get the parts and pieces, they did admit that they couldn't get the thing to work. So when they shipped it, everything I paid for is correct. The way
it's all in there.
It's all in there. It just I paid for a RAID. I meant the parts and pieces. The parts that I paid for are correct. Everything that
everything's in the computer that you paid for. It's just not in the correct place.
Everything was completely wrong. All the hard drives were wrong. It was installed on the wrong drive, and so basically I had to learn how to fix all of that. That's not my wheelhouse. So I called them and called them and called them, and must have talked to 20 techs and ended up reformatting and reinstalling like 11 times. It was so frustrating.
It was all day. It was insane and just so stressful. Something that should have just been like where you take it out of the box and you're happy and you press power and it just works.
Yeah,
it didn't do that. It was just a mess.
I don't quite understand why it came the way it did. When it came, it already had a login and custom graphics, wallpaper and all that, and that's fine. But I didn't have an option of being an admin or anything like that. So regardless, I was gonna have to reinstall anyway. I guess I don't.
We're talking about Windows.
Yeah.
Reinstalling the whole Windows OS into the computer, and it just was bizarre. It's frustrating to me because you pay money for something and you want it to just be
and you
what
pay
you
good
pay
money.
for.
You pay good money. This is not a cheap laptop.
And it took forever to get here, so we were just like...
We ordered in September.
You should really just be able to open it up, press power, and it just works. It was just really stressful. Just for someone who's trying to keep stress down with cancer levels and stuff, it just was a lot of just stress.
Yeah, I'm normally a very stressed out person. I do not zen very well, and all this I'm going through right now is increasing my stress. And then you add these situations on top, and it's just like, I feel like sometimes I can't win. And I know that's a ridiculous thing to say, especially when you're talking about a computer. I get it, but
yeah, it's small in the grand scheme of things, but you just want things to work. Yeah. When you buy them, you just want them to work.
Well, when you hire us, we over deliver. We want you to be happy. We want you to call us back. That's how every business we've ever run, everything, our freelancing, everything that we've ever done, we always go over and above, and we kind of expect that from everybody. If you're going to take my money, I want to get what I'm paying for, and I want it to be a good product and a good service. That's it. So the machine has been...
It's good now. We have a workaround now.
It's resolved.
It is not what Sean wanted.
It's not what I ordered.
It is, but it is fine. It's not like a bad product. It's all there. Just it has to be. It's a compromise. And I don't feel like you should compromise when you pay for something, because that's not right. Like if I buy a toaster and it only toasted one half of the bread, I'd be like, what is going on with this toaster?
That other half is really good. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't like to be like, okay, well, this is a great toaster. I'll just put my toast in the other one.
Right.
My slice of bread into just toast with one. You could do that, which is a compromise, but it's just you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So it was just we didn't actually record a lot today because of... It was so we were so happy at the beginning. Like you saw Sean open the box and it's like, oh, this is such a great thing. And then, bleh.
Yeah, there were just a lot of surprises. The first surprise was the fact that I have 2 power supplies.
That was new.
My laptop before this one was along the same lines of beefiness. It's actually bigger. It's a big, heavy laptop, but it only had 1 power supply. A big one, don't get me wrong, a massive power supply, but 1. This one has 2. So that was a surprise. And then, of course, when I booted up and saw that things weren't quite the way they were supposed to be, I was like, oh, what I wanted was an internal RAID. What I wanted is to take all the hard drives that are inside it and RAID them together for speed and other things. But I just wanted a RAID, and that didn't happen. And you know, we were able to work around it. We were able to get it to do everything we needed to do. The machine is still crazy powerful. It's got 128 gigs of RAM. It's got a 2080 GPU for any tech heads out there. It's got a 4K monitor. It's got I have 4 terabytes of internal storage, not including my application drive or my cache drive. So I have 4 hard drives in a laptop with a beefy GPU and 128 gigs of RAM. I understand what I had them build was insane, but that's the level that we operate at. If you
don't offer it, if you can't do it, don't offer it.
It's not like I picked things that weren't available. It was on their website. It was
a choice.
Yeah, it was a choice, right?
So everything's there. The only thing that Sean lost was the raiding. Yeah, but the 2 hard drives are still there that he wanted to raid. But it's so fast that he doesn't actually, in the good, looking for the positives in the situation, the hard drives are so fast it isn't, when you raid something, it makes them go faster. And we couldn't raid it, but they're still fast enough.
Every drive is SSD. There's no moving parts in my laptop. Yeah, so
that's really nice.
And that's partially because of our history. When we ran Rampant, I can't tell you how many times the TSA dropped my laptop, my Mac Pro. Every time, what's this? I don't know if you all remember the Mac Pro when it first came out. It's affectionately referred to as a trash can. It looks like a trash can from an office. It looks like an IKEA trash can. When we got one when they first came out, and the TSA had no idea what it was, and the very first thing he does is pick it up, and it falls right out of his hands because he's wearing gloves, and then he's like, I need a screwdriver. I'm like, hold on a second, homie. If you need to get into this thing, there's a switch right here that like literally takes the cover off. So like, what are we doing here? So we've always had problems. So now, knock on wood, if the laptop doesn't fail on me, the travel won't be an issue because there's legitimately no moving parts. I should be able to edit in the car. I should be able to edit on the road. I should be able to do design work on the road.
It's a fantastic laptop.
It's a fantastic laptop, and we're planning on duplicating it getting one for Stephanie, providing that we don't go through the same hell that we went through last time.
I will be making sure.
I won't be ordering a raid. That I tell you right in a second. I will not be having them do a raid. So
there's a lot of things that we'll be doing differently, but
yeah.
And to all this that we're saying negative, the positive is we have a fantastic laptop.
Stephanie likes all the colors.
It's so pretty.
It's got RGB lights all around it and on the keyboard, so the whole thing is like a laser light show.
The back of it looks like Kit from Knight Rider.
Yeah, for those of you who remember Kit, yep.
And so I was like, it's really cool.
Maybe we'll name it. Maybe we'll name it Kit.
Maybe we should name it Kit.
We've been trying to figure out what to name it.
We are naming the laptop Kit. That's fantastic.
Our last one was Beastmaster, so this one's Kit. I like that.
Beastmaster because it was huge.
It's like 17 pounds.
That was also a show, Beastmaster.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a show?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I like that show. Didn't he have a falcon that he could see?
I believe, yes.
I believe he did. Yeah, there was Xena. It was like the same time slots.
I want to say it was older than that.
Oh.
Because I worked on Herc and Xena, and I worked on the shows during that time, and Beastmaster wasn't a thing. So if it was happening, maybe it was a slightly different time period. I don't remember, but I definitely worked on Charmed and Herc and Xena and all those shows, and all those shows were in the same time.
We just named the computer.
Yeah, so that was great. We try to name all of our stuff.
We named him Kit. That's great. He does look like Kit. Anyway, we'll probably end. It has been a very long day with this computer thing.
And on top of it, I'm feeling like death. So
yeah, it hasn't been a great day for Sean either. So it's a lot of stress, which that of course will compound.
Yeah. The other thing, for anyone out there who's suffering from a big disease, I will say this, and our doctor told us this many times. It's easier to stay medicated than restart your medication. So if you miss your time slot of when it's time to re-up your meds, it's actually infinitely more painful and more frustrating and more difficult and just more negative than just maintaining. Even if the problem with me is I'm so sick that I'm either vomiting or just in so much pain I can't eat. That's a problem. I need to maintain my medicine. So it's difficult. Sometimes I force a banana down me or some Boost or whatever, but it's like I really have to just force a little bit of food down me so I can take these pills because, as Stephanie will also agree to, if you miss your slot, you are chasing. You're trying to recover instead of medicate, I think.
Yeah, the doctors like to say that with GI cancers, especially, which are affected with eating, if they could find a patch that they could have just bypassed the GI tract completely, it would be like the best thing. So Sean has a pain patch. It doesn't do like acute pain. It's for long lasting pain, and it does okay. But I wish we had like the nausea and everything else in a patch.
Yeah,
and they wish that too.
I wish like all 50 pill bottles that I have to go through 4 times a day was all remnant down to just reduced down to a patch or 20 patches. I don't care if my back was covered like a NASCAR. I don't care. But
they talk about that.
I suffer so much, and because everything goes through your GI tract, everything, medicine, food, everything goes through your GI tract.
And it's what you're targeting. The chemo drugs that Sean's on targets the GI tract. So you not only have the chemo drugs fighting this, the cells that are causing the cancer, but then you're trying to eat and take medications in that same exact place, and it's just two conflicting. They're like.
Yep.
So that doctors always say.
How does that go?
All right, guys, we're gonna leave it there. We're gonna hopefully have a better day tomorrow. But at least we did come to a conclusion that the laptop is good. It's not.
It works.
It works great.
It got a Cinebench score of something insane. All the scores are coming back.
It's fantastic.
My average read write is like 1,200 megs a second.
Yeah.
I've got 128 gigs of RAM. I've got Premiere Pro running like butter. Like it
4K footage.
Playing back in
real time.
Yeah.
No stutter. Stutter.
And that's the other thing is you all think we edit fast. I've been editing in parts and pieces because of the machine that I've been editing on. You'll hit play and then 1, 2, 3, and then it runs. So editing was very difficult. I basically paper edited. I'd go through and mark all my times and the ins and outs of things that I liked. I'd put it in the timeline and then basically pray for the best. So we're no longer doing that. So
that's right.
I'm hoping that what used to take me 4 or 5 hours will now take me an hour. Honestly.
So good. All right. We're going to end it.
We love you all.
We love you guys. And we are getting excited for Gatlinburg.
Yeah, I'm very excited, but I'm worried too. So I'm hoping.
Don't worry. It's going to be good.
I'm hoping I will feel better. I don't want to ruin Stef's trip.
No, stop. It's going to be fantastic.
I'm excited about your jellyfish.
I can't wait to see the jellyfish.
What are you most excited about? Because I'll tell you what I'm most excited while you think, because I just threw this, we weren't planning on talking about this, so I just threw a curveball at you, but as much as I'm excited about a lot of things. I'm looking for the cold air, the mountains, the beauty of it all. We're basically beach people, so we live in flatlands. It's easy to find a beach. It's not easy to find a mountain. So I'm very eager to see all that. But what I'm really excited about is staying at the Peachtree Tower in Atlanta on the way up. I love vertical living. I'm obsessed with engineering and design and architecture, and I just watched a whole series. I binge watched while I was sitting there throwing up in the bathtub. I watched a whole series on towers. Stephanie watched a couple episodes with me, and I just love everything about vertical living. I'm fascinated by it. I just think it's interesting. That's all. I think it's interesting. I would love to live on the 50th of something and just see the world from a different perspective. That's all. I like the idea of vertical life. So what are you most excited about?
Well, I'm really excited that we're going to an aquarium for the first time together. I haven't been to an aquarium, I think.
Yeah, if you don't count Disney, we haven't been to an aquarium together. Yeah,
we've been to like the SeaWorld and Disney, but they're little tiny aquariums compared to like big national aquariums. We even lived in close to Monterey Bay, and they have a huge aquarium there. We never even went to it.
No, life was
It
tough
just we never had the chance to do it. So I'm really excited for that, to see the jellyfish. They're my favorite exhibit. I haven't been to an aquarium since I was probably living in Columbia, Maryland, in the Baltimore Aquarium, which is a brilliant aquarium. Brilliant. But my second thing, that's my first, and that's the beginning. My second thing is I can't wait to do the corn maze. I love corn mazes.
Our history together with corn mazes isn't the best, so I'm going to make sure that Stephanie wears a GoPro the entire time.
It is going to be so fun.
We're going to do a lot of shooting, but I'm going to make sure that she wears a GoPro, because I want you to see Stephanie's perspective, because the last time we did a corn maze, it was such a nightmare hellscape that we ended up calling the emergency number. What?
It was not a nightmare hellscape. It was fun.
Well, there was two problems. One, uh, we went to the maze at the end of the season, so people had forged their own paths.
Oh, they did break down the
So
corn,
we
which
weren't
that
sure what was a
awful.
legit path or not, and I think 2 or 3 times we took an illegitimate path. That was frustrating. And the other thing was we were with a big group and we weren't making decisions, and that's where I was frustrated. It's just like, you all know 4 rights is a circle. Just throwing that out there.
I'm just so excited to do this and do fall things. We don't have
totally.
fall things here.
You don't really feel seasons here.
No.
We have hot and hotter. We don't have
It was 90
that
degrees
crisp
today.
chill. Yeah. It's
So
dripping
there's
wet
that.
today.
But I'm so excited. I can't wait. Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, the corn maze is going to be fun. I'm excited to see Dollywood with you. I can't believe you've never been.
I haven't. I'm excited for Dollywood and Anakista and Desert. It's just gonna be the whole thing's gonna be fantastic.
It's going to feel like cruising again, because if it's going to feel like Anakista especially feels like your typical cruise destination.
It's gonna
where
feel
you've got like zip lines and
gonna be so
observation
fun.
towers and things like. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so much fun.
So fun. Okay, now I get to go to sleep dreaming of all the fall stuff.
I'm really excited to check out that skyscraper with you, though. I really do love.
That'd be fun.
We're staying in the tallest building in Atlanta.
That's right.
So I'm excited about it all. And there's in Gatlinburg, we have a cabin, all thanks to Brittany Watson from Your Perfect Getaway by Brittany Watson. We have a hot tub outside, so I can't wait to sit there and spend time with Stef in a hot tub, looking at the mountains. And I'm pretty sure where our cabin is, we're like backed up against a national park, like your
The
vista,
Smoky Mountains.
the Smoky Mountains. The vista you have is the whole mountain range. So I just can't. This is not something I'm used to. I haven't been in mountains since I used to live in California, so
It's gonna be so fun.
I can't wait. I think it'll be fun. And Gatlinburg itself is kind of neat. It reminds me of like I Drive,
Yeah, totally.
So I can't wait to just check it all out and just get silly and enjoy. Just forget our problems for a minute,
Yes. All right. With that,
Yeah.
we're gonna say goodnight and thank you so much for watching, and commenting. And
We really do love you all.
We really do love you. And we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. I can't wait for Gatlinburg.